We live?
Yep.
Oh. All right, Knicks fans. Knicks 119, Raptors 92, and this one didn't start pretty. Second night of a back-to-back. Legs look heavy early. The first half was rough. Turnovers, rush shots, bad possessions, and Toronto took advantage. But this team did not fold. They locked in defensively in the second half, turned up the pressure, forced turnovers, protected the rim, blocks, deflections, and stops led to easy buckets. That's when the Knicks took full control. And let's not gloss over this part. We swept the back-to-back. One night at home, one night on the road. And against a team that's fighting for position. That matters. This wasn't about talent. This was about adjustment, defense, and mental toughness. So tonight we're breaking down how the Knicks survived the ugly start, the dominant second half, and what this win says about who they are right now. Let's get into it. Let's go, Knicks. Fraz.
Somebody hit the intro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are grit. These kids and our party just lit. You know we lit fresh past the Pearl Lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker have a talk to. Let's go! Drip, 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 drip. Six in this. Drip, 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 drip. We lit.
Yeah. Live and direct once again on your YouTube screen. It is another episode of your favorite Knicks and Ish channel with your favorite Knicks and Ish panel. And of course, y'all already know the rivalry, because I am the one and only Parlay Lord, aka Fast Taz, here with the Knicks and Ish panel, never limited to, but always included. The first lady of Knicks and Ish, Mrs. Knicks, is in the building. Always and forever, my brother, Yatu Sabe, Ken Rodriguez is in the building.
Bow.
And y'all hear them 3 words?
I'm a spark plug.
Yeah, those are the 3 words I want to hear, because our one and only host, T-Time, is here in the building as well. Y'all already know what it is. Press like for your favorite panel. Sharing as always, Karen. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell. Set it to all so you get all notifications when Knicks and Ish goes live. And please, do us a favor. Cop yourself some merch over at the Knicks and Ish Shopify. You see, we all got a little something from the catalog here. So definitely go on over there and check out the Knicks and Ish Shopify. And do remember, people, when you send a super chat during the live stream, the pen will literally stop what we are doing. And we will address your super chat, so please be advised.
Let me interject since you mentioned the super chat. I know what's going on. We see it. But y'all know me, I'm not tolerating any trade talks unless it's a super chat. It's the only way I'm talking about it. I don't care what y'all got to say. The only way I'm talking about anything trade related is super chat. Fraz, please continue.
Okay, so with that being said, I think, hold on, let me get some housekeeping done real quick. Let me see who's in the building. You know what I'm saying? Somebody. Is that my boy Matty Ice? Yeah, that gotta be my boy Matty Ice in the building.
Matty Smooth.
Stephen Kennedy. Here we go. We're gonna get to you later. All right, Stephen. Darlene, sis, you already know what it is. Always see you in the building, Darlene. You know what I mean? So I'm going to set the stage and let the panel take it away. New York Knicks over the Toronto Raptors in the second game of a back-to-back. What was it? 119 or what?
92.
119-92. Panel, please give us your initial thoughts.
I mean, since you could start, I mean, I gave my thoughts.
I'm gonna say this: that second half was belt to ass. Period. 72-41 in the second half. That's what you call belt to ass. That is what this Knicks team can do to every team in this league if they play Knicks basketball. It's simple as that. What we saw today on a day where we looked exhausted in the first half, we looked like this was going to be the worst game of the season, and we've seen terrible games. But just the way they came out, we went down 7-0. We weren't shooting well. The ball wasn't moving. It just looked like we played last night, and it looked like Toronto had 2 nights off, which it was what it was. Okay, Eskimo Cav, I see you.
Dude up.
The Knicks stood around. They ended going into halftime only down by 4, I think it was. They made a little run. Third quarter, they kept it close for a little while, and then boom, handle business. Toronto didn't even know what was coming for them. They had no clue what was happening. Their fans shut the hell up. They look like they played last night. Let's see. 32 assists. That says it all. And to me, and I'm not going to take the shine on everything, but to me, what stood out the most was the run while Jalen Brunson was on the bench. With Tyler Kolek in the game, the run happened, which, like we say here all the time, shows you how deep this team is. That on a night where Tyler Kolek hasn't played since garbage minutes in Brooklyn, comes in and has a freaking huge impact on the game. On a game where OG has a great game, just taking it to the basket, having his way at the rim. Mikal basically said, shut the fuck up with all the trade talk because I'm here. And then in post game took responsibility for his actions and his lack of play, which I love to hear. I mean, it was a good win. I'm not gonna hold you because when I saw the injury report, saw Jalen might be out, Josh might be out, Deuce out, Mitch out. I'm like, oh, we about to get our ass whipped. We about to get our ass whipped because Toronto has been playing great basketball. And I mean, to me, I'm like, it's a game we can't afford to lose because they're on our ass for a seed. So glad we came out with a win. This shows you what our team is made of and continue to build on this.
My guy Knickerbocker Ave has joined the chat. You already know the vibe. But in what you just said about Mikal's comment of him not being coachable, that was a big statement by him. Yeah, I mean, because there's a whole bunch of speculation about what's going on in the locker room, or guys getting along, whatever the case may be, and him taking onus for his play. That was big. Kev, talk to me.
Great win by this team. Fraz, pull out your Raptor pack and enjoy it. You know what I mean? Because, you know, although this team struggled in the first half, you saw some kind of fight, even though they were struggling, right? They made that nice little run, like Mrs. Nick said before the second half. Brought it down to 4, and even struggled a little bit in the third quarter until like mid third quarter when they started taking off. You know, I feel like you know, we needed a game like this from Mikal. Especially the rebounding by Karl Anthony Towns, who offensively really didn't have it, but you know, took the rebounding really, really serious in this game with 22 rebounds, 22
Yeah.
rebounds, 8 points, a block or some shit like that. So shout out to him. And you know, shout out to Shamit, Tyler for stepping in, coming in without Deuce, with no Mitch. That was gonna be a difficult task. But you know, these guys took it serious. These guys came up in the second half and played really solid defense to end that game. I mean, what's the name? What's the name on the Raptors that they traded for the Pelicans? That name,
Brandon Ingram.
Brandon Ingram was giving us problems in that first half. I mean, he was fucking torching us, and in that second half, I really think they did a really good job at shutting him down and making it difficult. I think this is the third straight game we keep a team under 100 points. I'm proud of y'all, man, because this is something that we have been complaining about for a while already. Defense. You want to win games? Defense will win you games. And I really feel like the Knicks took it serious. I really also feel like these 2 days off kind of helped the rest we needed. It was a much needed rest for them. And it showed because in this game, man, that second half they took off. The ball was moving, like Mrs. Nick said. There was 30 plus assists. The ball was moving. The pace was even moving. We was playing fast. Like shout out to the guys for a big win against a really good Toronto team who's been playing good basketball these past few weeks.
Yeah, facts. Fraz.
First and foremost, shout out everybody in the building. Y'all already know what it is. First thing is first. Let's be clear. Toronto is the number one fast break team in the NBA. And they sure did get a dose of their own medicine tonight, especially in that second half, didn't they?
Right.
Yeah, because the Knicks surely was getting fast break points in transition, even after made buckets. Shout out to Wingstop 2.0. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, 56 points of the 119 tonight. I believe Mikal Bridges started out 11 for 12, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, he was on the heater for real, like straight assassin mode. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna get my spot here, and you're gonna give me this two right there. Bang. Oh, step in three. Oh yeah, that's for me in the corner. Bang. I'm like, yeah. Wingstop definitely did their thing tonight. Combined 23 of 33 tonight, which is very impressive. Mikal was very efficient tonight. Shout out to Karl Anthony Towns for tying the record for the most most rebounds in a half in Knicks history with 17. He did have 17 in that first half. What can I say? I've been saying it all year. It's like I said, if we play Knicks basketball and we play consistently defensively and just overall consistently, the Knicks is beating everybody. So again, I'm not really worried because here you go again, another streak starting up. This is the type of thing that y'all gotta expect from a first year team. And when I say first year team, I mean with new additions into the roster. And I'm on the plane.
He said we're going shrieking through the quad into the gymnasium.
A new coach, Fraz. You forgot that. A new coach.
No, that too. That's part of it.
Knickerbocker, talk to me, man.
All right. First, I need everybody here on the in the chat. If you want us to address anything you want to say, anything, any topic, any questions, please feel free. Hit up.
Talk.
you got to hit the super chat, and we will stop what we're talking about, and we will address it immediately.
We'll talk about trade talk if they hit the super chat. They paid for that. But other than
so we will address the trade rumors, any one of them that you want, because there's so many of them. But let's just talk about it. So last night the New York Knicks started off slow against Sacramento, kept the game close, dominated the second half. Big victory there. Coming to Toronto, same thing. Knicks start off very slow, keep the game manageably close, close out the first half pretty strong. Then they dominate. As Mrs. Knicks loves to say, belt to ass. That was because I even had to like check with her. If you would actually check like our group chat, it's like belt to ass. It's like, are we in belt to ass territory? Yes, we are. What can we say? Mikal Bridges definitely answered the call. 30 points tonight. OG Anunoby came back to Toronto, team that he played for so many years, won a title with, took care of business. The defense was just impressive. And I mean, just being able to capitalize on a lot of bad passing, just getting into passing lanes, being disruptors on defense. That's all you really need to win in this league. The fact that the Knicks took care of that and dominated. I mean, seriously, dominated. I don't even know what the second half. What was the second half? It was like 35-19 in the third, 37-22 in the fourth. That's Knicks basketball in a nutshell. And so I am feeling a whole lot better. I'm starting to get that bad taste out of my mouth from the beginning of the month when we were just losing badly. And it's starting to click again. And this is a great way to show, answering the call on a back-to-back, especially going into Toronto, because Toronto is a very good team. They were right on our heels in terms of standings and whatnot. This is the way you make a statement, and they need to do this again on Friday night when they play the Blazers, and they have to keep on going. They have to close out this All-Star break strong, because they have a lot of ground to make up, because those 3 weeks really hurt us tremendously, and it needs to be done.
Yeah, we had them gushing blood out their nose.
Yeah, for sure. He well deserved.
Landry, put a shirt on, dude. What the fuck?
This is it's another game where you could directly point out that the turn in the game came from OG's defense. OG's defense, late third quarter into the fourth, was tremendous. He was a demon on the defensive end. Then Mikal started picking up the defense as well. But one of the things that really impressed me is the fact that something that we always knew about this team, is something that we was talking about going into this season, is that this team is really deep, and we got a number of guys who can carry the offensive load pause on a night-to-night basis. It's not, you lean on your superstars to be consistent and dominant with the scoring. But they're human just like everybody else. They're not always going to have spectacular nights. JB was feeling a little bit under the weather. For whatever reason, Cat couldn't get it going offensively. But we do, like we've been saying, we do have the guys that have the talent for maybe not do it every night, but once in a blue moon can carry our offensive load. And OG and Mikal did that tonight. Wingstop showed out. You know what I mean? I'm glad Mikal worked through whatever he was working through, because he was stinking up the joint up until recently. But now, and I will say this, the biggest difference in Mikal's play tonight, and we've seen this earlier in the season too, he attacked the fucking basket. No fadeaway no fadeaway mid-range every time he get close to the cup. He was taking the ball all the way to the rim, and that opens up his whole entire game. Mikal, and he was talking cat shit at the end of the third. I like that. Y'all know That's the kind of shit I fuck with. At the end of the third, he was talking hot shit. He's like, fuck wrong with these niggas, man? Yeah. That's the intensity I need to see. That's the intensity I need to see. But yeah, shout out to Mikal, man. And the jump started falling. OG continuously being aggressive going to the cup. You know what I mean? What he had, like 8 dunks tonight. That shit was crazy. You know, it was like one.
I lost count.
It was one stretch where he dunked the ball like 4 or 5 times in a row. And this dude is wilding.
And I feel like when we get that kind of OG, we unstoppable. When he plays with that kind of energy,
that Euro step was tough. I'm sorry.
Yeah, when he played with that kind of energy, bro, it's hard to beat us, bro.
Yeah, he had like 4 and 1s to the back.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he caught a body on somebody. I think it was I don't know who it was, but he caught a body on somebody too.
I think it was Barnes.
But you know what? This was much needed with Cat and fucking Jalen Brunson not playing well offensively.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. But you know, me not going. You know, I know he's not our coach no more. But speaking of Cat, this is what Tid used to always say: you may not have a great shooting night, but you can still impact the basketball game. And Cat did that. You feel me? Cat did that with his rebounding and his passing. I know you got to flip.
Please,
pass off the rebound.
That shit was incredible.
That was one of the toughest passes I think I've ever.
Do I need to channel it? Do I need to? Let me find it.
What up?
Cat definitely had his fingerprint on the game, even though
he channeled his inner Mitch tonight.
Yeah, facts. But
what up, bro?
It was good. Yeah, but that's facts, you know, and that's what this is what we've seen from this team earlier in the season. I'm not going to say that I wasn't worried in the month of January, right? I definitely was worried, but I also had that feeling like, yo, we could just get back to playing how we were before the as my guy Knickerbocker like to call it, the Sippy Cup tournament. You feel me? If we would get back to playing the way we were, then we'll be all right. Because we've seen it work, you know. Because, you know, you go on social media, there's a lot of speculation that this roster doesn't work. There's something wrong. Guys don't like each other. Whatever you want to slice it. But we've seen it work. For whatever reason, it was disjointed in January. It just had to get back to what it was. And over these last 4 games, it's starting to look like we're trending in that direction. Now, continuing with the game, the question to the panel is this. I think I answered this too. What changed defensively in the second half that completely flipped this game around? Who we started with? We started with Sis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I thought it was the defense they played. Damn, I always forget him. Brandon Ingram. I felt the defense that they played on him in that second half was one of the reasons why we were able to go off, because in the first half he was going off on us. Dude, we couldn't stop him in the first half. He was doing everything, making everything. So I think that was one of the biggest reasons of why we was able to win this game.
I think that personally that what Kev just mentioned was absolutely certain, because they were swarming him. And since Barnes didn't really have it, RJ really couldn't get going quickly. I'm sorry, but Mikal Bridges put some clamps on Emmanuel quickly, because he really could not get anything going. He couldn't get past. He couldn't get around the Josh Hart pick. He couldn't get past Karl Anthony Towns. He couldn't get around OG Anunoby. So you slowed both quickly and Ingram enough, because you're not going to stop them. You're just going to slow them down. That created enough of a problem for the Knicks to seek that opening and capitalize. And that's where you start to see the brilliance of Jalen Brunson. You start to see the brilliance of OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. And of course, more importantly, I think we cannot stress this enough. You start to see the importance of Josh Hart and just what those guys were able to do just on those two guys. Because I mean, Toronto's still a good team. You know, Grady Dick is an okay player. Scotty Barnes is a good player, but since he didn't have it tonight, it was pretty much left to Quick and for Ingram to carry the team, and they just couldn't at some point. And the Knicks saw that, exploited it, got in everybody's face, and that's the defensive adjustment they made. Also, I noticed that they played a little bit more zone tonight than usual, which kind of helped get into the more passing lanes and get a lot more deflection. So that's where it led to the fast break points that Fraz was alluding to.
Because Toronto can't shoot worth shit.
That's that too. Their only shooter they really have is Ingram, and Ingram's not that great of a shooter. He's a decent shooter, but he's not lights out.
He's a scorer more than
yeah. The guy GD didn't have it either, so that kind of helped. I'm not saying his name.
Yeah,
I'm not saying his name. GD, that's all I'm saying. GD.
That's a game. He's just Grady. Brad, talk to me, bro.
So, when it comes to the defense, two things definitely stood out to me personally. The overall effort that players were putting in to the game at that last stage where the end of the third into the fourth, you can tell it's like guys were making it their business to help limit Toronto to one shot on offense, because a lot of times, especially in the losing streak, he was giving up a lot of second chance points, a lot of second chances, period. The Knicks were limiting the second chances, and that was also helping them to get out in transition and get those fast break points that I mentioned. So definitely limiting opponents to one shot on a possession is one of the things that we need to continue to work on and be consistent with.
Shout out to this is Steve Azul, you know what I mean, for the $10. We appreciate you, homie.
That's my bleed blue brother. What's going on, Steve?
Yeah, appreciate you, you know what I mean? Who they go, sis? Talk to me.
You caught her.
Sorry, you caught me eating ice. For me, it was a couple of things. One, I feel like adjustments won the game. I feel like even in the game last night against Sacramento, we kind of let them punch first, see what they were about to do, and then adjust it. And to me, that's important, because to me, that's one thing we haven't seen a lot of Mike Brown doing, is really adjusting well in game. So like everyone said, defense adjusted. Again, going back to yesterday's game, same thing we did with DeRozan. He had a great first half, and then we kind of, held him at bay. Same thing we did today with Brandon Ingram. Another thing is the team just came out with a lot of heart. Like, this is what we saw last season that we fell in love with, and we're starting to see that type of play again, where they're taking things personal. And I think, Mikal said it best in his post game, and I'm just going to play a little clip of it.
Third kind of pissed us off a little bit, and then
to me, that's important, because they got mad. Don't try to punk us. We not getting punked. Y'all can't punk us. And they took it personal. And, there's games like tonight where you're exhausted, and, you played a hard back-to-back game, back-to-back games, because, our starters were into the end yesterday. You're exhausted, and you just got to find that, willpower from within to make it happen. And, it's good to see these guys have that fight in them.
Nah, that's facts. You know what I seen tonight. Jimmy J1, what up, cuz? You know what I mean? What I seen defensively tonight is the fact that what flipped it is that they switched OG on to Brandon Ingram. That pretty much was the difference. they put our defensive demon to go, hey, pause, put out that fire, homie. Like, and he did a great job at doing that, being disruptive and the things of that nature. And listen, the last 3 games, that's what happened. We can go all the way back to the Philly game. And B was going off. What we do, with the help of Mitch, of course. OG, go stop that 7-footer. You go to the Kings game. DeMar DeRozan was going crazy. OG, go stop your former teammate. And then again tonight, Brandon Ingram going off. OG, go stop the stick figure over there. You know what I mean? Yeah, OG Anunoby, the problem solver. You feel me? OG, the problem solver. That's it. Yeah, I like that. You feel me? But
you know what's crazy though is that I think I even mentioned it in our chat. Is like they gotta move Bridges off of Ingram, and then and now you're pointing it out. It's like, wait, yeah, they actually did do that. That's exactly what the fuck they did.
Oh, he did. But what I also noticed in those 3 games, because you know, Clyde is always talking about doubling. Oh, you got to double that guy. You got to double that guy. But what I've noticed is that we've been okay with just letting one person kind of do their thing while minimizing everybody else's contribution. Because if you look at the Philly game, Tyrese Maxey didn't have a great game. Paul George didn't have a great game. We were kind of okay with, for the first 2 to 3 quarters, letting Embiid do what he does by getting everybody else out of rhythm. Same thing when you look at the Kings game. We were kind of okay with DeRozan doing what he does for the first 2 to 3 quarters, but we kind of held everybody else in check. And same thing tonight. We was kind of okay with Brandon Ingram doing what he was doing for the first 2 to 3 quarters, and quickly had a bad game. RJ had a bad game. Scotty Barnes didn't have a great game. All those guys are disjointed, out of rhythm, and once that happened, we send the problem solver at whoever's scoring the most. I think that's not by mistake. I think that's kind of by design. You know, I think 1 time is an accident, 2 times is a coincidence, 3 times is a plan. You feel me? And it kind of seemed like that's the plan. We know he's a scorer. We're going to put maybe our second best defender on him, but why we going to shut down whoever else? Because Scotty Barnes is a threat. We cannot pretend like he's not. You feel me? Scotty Barnes is a threat, and I think OG did a great job of keeping him out of the game most of the game. And then he's like, okay, now it's time to shut down Brandon Ingram, the problem solver. Go solve the problem. And that's what happened. And we come out with a nice comeback victory. Yeah, you know, and I want to address what the video was saying. You can tell that was exactly what was happening. Because I mentioned it earlier at the end of the 3rd quarter, the energy that Mikal was walking off the court with, it was like, yo, fuck out of here. What's wrong with these niggas? Like, what they thought it was is not that we really like that. That's the kind of vibe that they walked off the court with. And that's the kind of vibe they need to start the game with. That's my only problem. Start the game with that same vibe. Don't let people start to punk you to be like, oh, now we got to fight back, because you're not always going to be able to make a comeback like this. Sometimes people get hot and you can't put out the fire. You know what I mean? So start the game like this with this same energy. I'm just happy that Mikal and OG realized what was happening with the 2 stars and stepped up, especially on the defensive end. So boom.
Yeah.
Okay. Since we've been talking about defense, which defensive play stood out to you the most? Was it a block, a stop, a forced turnover? Which play specifically stood out to you guys the most? Knickerbocker, have you start?
There was a sequence in the fourth quarter where it wasn't just one stop; it was like a succession of stops. I think the Raptors went on a mini 7-0 run, and then there was a steal, then there was a block, then there was a turnover, and then we went on our own 7-0 run that turned into a 14-0 run that turned into a 20-point lead. So there was a sequence there where it looked like Toronto was trying to answer back after shit in the third quarter, and the Knicks responded in kind. And what I mean by in kind is like, no, they whipped their belt out and they started whipping their ass because they just exerted their will. So I would say around the 9-10 minute mark in the fourth quarter, it started with OG, then it went with Mikal, and then Josh Hart, and it's like it was that sequence, because you can have a good defensive stop, you can have a good defensive play, but when you do it in sequence, one after the other, to generate your own run, that's where I'm like, that's Knick defense. That's defense that wins championships.
Sis.
She's chewing ice again.
It's Kev. Let's just finish doing what she doing. Kev, holla at me.
I'm gonna be honest with you, man. It's even hard to
Is he muted?
remember exactly which turnover it was. And
Kev,
then the
the
way Av broke it down was kind of it's kind of but to me, I think the points off of turnovers was important. I could say that, but other than that, that's all I can remember, to be honest.
Sis,
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot. I don't remember one specifically that,
right,
to me, changed the game. When you go back and look, there was right before that Cat pass, there was, I think he either blocked it or there was a steal right before that Cat pass. And to me, that one just stands out because of the pass. But there was so many times in the third and fourth quarter where our guys were just in the lane, in the passing lane. Josh, OG, Mikal. So all of those were really important. I mean, especially against a team that, likes to, push the pace, play fast pace. You have to get in the passing lane with them. And then especially like they were playing pretty physical against us as well. So to dead all that, we did what needed to be done. So all those in the passing lane steals, I think OG had a nice block. Cat had that block. Just overall great. Let me say in the second half.
Even the captain got a block. That's just crazy.
That one
he
block,
should have won
that
defensive
one
player of the game for that. Give him his one.
One block on,
you know all he wants is
block
one.
OG had on Brandon Ingram too.
Nah, but I wouldn't. I'm not going to highlight like a single play. I'm just going to say the increased physicality that we started playing with defensively. It almost was like, okay, since y'all calling fouls, we're going to give you something to call fouls for. That's what it felt like. Y'all want to call fouls? Okay. Now we're going to give you something to call fouls for, because it was quite a few plays that I was like, ooh, that might have been a foul, but I'll take the turnover. You feel me? Yeah. So that I won't just highlight one play. I'll just say the overall team. Ron Du was good. The overall team physicality is something that I would like to look forward to. So now, Knickerbocker, I don't feel like typing yes to your question, Knickerbocker. Yeah. But next question is, with Tyler Kolek dishing out 10 of them things, pause, you know what I mean, 10 assists, are we wasting him on the bench, or do we keep him reserved for times like this when we are injury riddled? Sis, you can start this one off.
So it's a tough situation because, I'm all for the kids, right? Like,
Yes.
I absolutely want to see him play. But when Deuce is playing as good as Deuce has been playing, it's a tough situation. I hope they can find some time for him, just because I feel like, him getting a little bit of time on a daily basis or a game by game basis is going to continue to build his confidence. I think he brings something that both Deuce and JB don't have, which is that court vision. That his passing ability, not saying they don't have court vision, but his passing ability at the drop of a dime, like, he just sees the floor differently than what I think JB and Deuce see the floor. I still see Deuce as an undersized 2. I think JB can play an undersized 2, where Tyler is really a point guard. So again, it's just a tough situation for the coaching staff to have to figure out, but I would hope they can find some time, because, to be honest, in a playoff series where teams are adjusting on the whim, where we know teams' main goal is going to be stop JB, Tyler's going to be important to us, and we have to have him ready for that.
Kev.
Listen, to be honest with you, I think they're wasting his talent sitting on the bench. I don't care how difficult it is, Mike Brown. You fucking play him, because he brings something different to the offense. You said you want to push the pace. You said you want to play fast. There you go. He's that guy. And you could see it today with the 10 assists that he had. We saw something different. The ball was moving. At times they couldn't even stop him. You know what I mean? I wish he would have took more shots. because this kid brings a different dynamic to the offense that Jalen Brunson might not be able to do all the time, and it's a change of pace. So I feel like if you put him next to Deuce, and let the kid eat, because if not, trade the kid, because you're just wasting his talent on the bench. It just doesn't make sense.
Yep. I know y'all can hear Kev, but I can't hear shit Kev saying.
I can. So to answer the question, are the Knicks wasting Tyler Kolek? Yes and no. The points that both Mrs. Knicks and Kev just pretty much pointed out are exactly accurate. You want to push the pace. He's one of the only few point guards that can. The fact that they haven't been playing him, it could be a defensive issue, because it's not like he doesn't try, but he has the same problem that Brunson does. It's not a matter of effort; it's a matter of size and the mismatch. So in essence, I understand why you don't play him, but when you have situations where Deuce doesn't have it, you're not playing Jordan Clarkson. You're already taxing Mikal Bridges. You're already taxing OG Anunoby. You're already taxing Jalen Brunson. Why not spell him for 10 minutes? Why not give him more? I mean, I think tonight he only played 7. If I remember, yeah, he played 20 minutes tonight. But when you have got when you're already shorthanded as it is, because you're down a Deuce, no pun intended, you're already not playing Jordan Clarkson the same minutes as they used to. Why not give him more time? And I think you're going to start seeing Tyler Kolek a little bit more, considering that we have so many back-to-backs over the next couple of weeks. And I think that during the playoffs, you're going to see him play more. But I think that you are wasting him. And I feel the same way about Ariel Hukporti, and I feel the same way about Muhammad Diawara. You're not giving them enough experience, especially when you're shorthanded and continuously playing this short rotation. Yes, you're going to play 8, 9, 7, 8, 9. I get that most nights. But in nights like tonight, nights that you're going to have next week, and nights you're going to have going forward, you need to find a way to, insert Tyler Kolek into that rotation so that way he can get. Not only can he rejuvenate this the lineup, because like I said, he does play fast. He can't play the pace that Mike Brown is so revered for. But not only that, but his court vision and his passing ability, he does mix well. And I think, honestly, this is just me, if you really want to benefit and maximize Karl-Anthony Towns, you're going to need a more traditional point guard. Tyler Kolek fits that mold to a T. So just like Sis was saying, since Deuce is an undersized 2, sometimes you can play Jalen Brunson as an undersized 2 or off ball. Why not give Tyler Kolek a little bit more rock? I mean, just we're not asking for a lot. 10, 15 minutes. That's it.
And just to piggyback on that, what you were saying, I agree 100%. I feel like there's plenty of games where the teams, their main goal is stop Jalen Brunson. I mean, they see it. Cat isn't having a great season, although I'm not saying he's not productive. Today he was very productive for us. He did what we needed to do. But offensively, teams are to me really disrespecting him by who they have defending him, which tells me they're going to either allow him to do what he did today or shoot us out of games or whatever. So their main goals are stop JB, the same thing we had a couple of seasons ago. And so when that happens, then our offense slows down a little bit, right? I think you need to insert a Tyler, switch it up for a second, because when Tyler went out injured and JB jumped in, the offense continued at that same pace. They weren't able to slow us down again. So it's just making adjustments. We understand JB's our captain. We understand he's that guy. But he doesn't need to be on the court if someone else got it going on.
Yeah. So I think I agree with a lot what was just said. I think, like everybody else, Tyler should be getting more PT. I think it's kind of a waste because, when JB goes to the bench, sometimes it'd be hard for us to manufacture offense because we don't have anybody that really, can handle the rock that well. You know what I mean? Like even if you look at even at the beginning of this game, with them taking the ball out of JB hands and trying to get other people to initiate offense, Mikal had a hell of a time handling the basketball. They turned him over quite a few times. They turned Josh over quite a few times. Same thing with OG. I mean, we all know OG can't dribble worth shit. So, you especially when you go to the bench, you need somebody that can get people easy shots. I think a lot of that third quarter turnaround, not only was the defense, was the easy looks that Tyler was getting guys. He was hitting guys right in the shooting pocket, pause, and making for easy 3-pointers. We play an 8-man rotation most of the time now. Like we're down to back to the Coach Tommy T rotation, 8-man rotation. I don't see the problem. I don't see it being a problem having a 9-man rotation and inserting Tyler the creator for sure. 22 minutes, 10 assists. That's nothing to sneeze at. And Toronto's a really good defensive team. I mean, they were playing undersized today, and we couldn't take advantage of that with Cat, but they run a lot of lengthy wings. Guys that's between 6'6" and 6'8". They run a lot of them. You feel me? And it make it really difficult for you, like they did in the first half. Toronto don't win high-scoring games. Toronto wins grinded out games and let Brandon Ingram score a whole bunch of points. That's what they play defense and let Brandon Ingram score a whole bunch of points. That's how they win games. So like I was saying, yeah, 10 assists. Tyler need more minutes. You can run a 9-man rotation and give Tyler more minutes. And if they picking on him defensively, that's when you go, all right, Tyler, this is not the game for you. And then you sit him down for the rest of the game and we focus more on defense. But to just not even try and have him waste on the bench is kind of crazy. Because I think right now he has a higher impact on the game than I think Deuce did at this stage of their careers, right? We knew Deuce could score, but he showed flashes of being able to score. He wasn't the shooter he is now, but he showed flashes of getting buckets. But that was pretty much it. We knew he could defend, but it was very inconsistent. Tyler, on the most part, his playmaking is consistent on a night-to-night basis when he does get minutes. You feel me? But there got to be a way to get him some minutes. Kind of feel but that's
and
that.
With him, and with him, you see like a change. With him, you see like a change. Not only,
but I think it's a fun question.
I don't think he hears me.
So obviously,
hey, hold on, T. Kev was trying to say something.
And with him, not only does he change the change of pace, with him you'll see more lobs, more pick and roll. Like I feel like if you utilize him in that way, our offense will be way more dynamic. People would not be able to stop us because you've seen him before do pick and rolls with Karl Anthony Towns and be successful. You know what I'm saying? Imagine if you start lobbing the ball to Mitch down low every single time, or you utilize Mitch in the pick and roll like you fucking promised us, Mike Brown. Jesus Christ, Lord have mercy. You've done the complete opposite. I don't understand it. This kid will change everything on our offense coming off the bench if you utilize him correctly. Stop wasting this young man, bro. Stop wasting him. And not only that,
jackass.
All right, Kev froze.
Yeah, I don't even know what he was saying. Somebody gonna have to relay that message. What he was saying?
He was essentially saying, Mike Brown, play him, play the man,
jackass.
All right, yeah, facts. Before I get my last question, I just want to. You said jackass, and it kind of sparked the memory of this game. Yeah, Scotty Barnes caught one dunk on my man OG and want to yell and look at him in the face, but pause. OG been dunking on y'all niggas all game. All game. You catch one dunk, I want to look at him, bro. He got like 6 of those on y'all. Probably like 4 of them on you. You look like a real jack, and you down 10. And you down 10. Yo, you should worry about getting the score back to a respectable number before you start yelling at people on the dunk. Yeah. Man, look. Yeah, that was Ingram. Yeah. Look, he didn't yell at
I'm sorry, y'all. My battery died and I didn't get to finish what I was saying. My bad. Cause I don't know. My laptop was charged and then all of a sudden it just died mad quick. But
it's cold outside, so battery life doesn't work good in the cold. But
that too. I'm freezing out here. But listen,
you look like a fucking Eskimo, dude. Get in the house.
Huh?
You look like a fucking Eskimo.
You don't want to wake up the kiddos.
Nah, I don't want to wake the kids up. That's why. But listen, man, it'll keep Jalen Brunson fresh for the end of the game when we really need him, right? And there was a reason why Jalen Brunson stood up there and thanked Tyler Kolek when we won that cup. There was a reason. These guys believe in this kid. So Mike Brown, if these guys believe in him, you need to believe in him and give him more playing time and not waste his talent. Not waste his talent, bro. You're wasted. I hate to see it. I hate to fucking see somebody with that kind of talent and not get playing time. Fuck defense. Most people in the fucking NBA don't play defense any fucking way. So what the fuck? The kid gives he puts the effort in it. You know what I mean? Pause. So, yo, Mike Brown, if you see this, please just play the fucking kid, bro. Stop wasting his talent, man.
It's funny you say that, Kev, because I thought it was so funny how many times Clyde said, this Toronto team doesn't play defense. This Toronto team doesn't look to play defense. They just want to score.
Right. So, you know what I mean? Like, yo, if defense is the problem, if defense is the reason why you're not playing him, you're a fucking idiot, Mike Brown. For real. Because if you look in the league, bro, most people don't play defense. They just don't play defense.
Yeah. You know, and there's also a thing you gotta earn Mike Brown trust for real because he's still relatively new. Like everybody else that Mike Brown's playing has a track record, right? Like even Deuce. He's seen what Deuce was doing last season. Like he saw it. They probably did it to his team before he got fired. Like he saw it. You know what I mean? So I think it's just about him continuing to earn Mike Brown's trust to be on the floor. Because at the end of the day, the reason why I'm not super hard on Mike Brown, because I understand the tremendous amount of pressure that this motherfucker is under. Right? Like
that was a red flag. I'm sorry.
I understand the amount of pressure he under. This is the season of destiny. He got to figure this shit out fast and compile some wins. You feel me? I'm not saying that he's right by doing what he's doing, right? I agree with everybody. Tyler needs some PT. But I also not going to crucify him because I get it. You got to win, and you got to win now. They brought you here to win now. They ain't bring you here for no experiment shit. That's not what they brought you here for.
But think about it. The games that Tyler has played a significant amount of minutes, we've won.
We also lost a few, and he played.
We did lose a few, but his positive impact has been more than his negative.
I don't know. That's debatable because there's been a couple games where I'm sitting there like, damn, Tyler's looking like inexperienced. You feel me? But again, I believe he's supposed to be playing. I'm on that boat with y'all. Yeah, I mean, I'm on that boat with y'all. But Mike Brown wasn't brought here to try no experiment shit. This is why Jordan Clarkson's on the bench. This is why Yabusele is not getting minutes to find a rhythm. Like these NBA players need to get a rhythm. And Mike Brown is like, yo, we ain't got time for that shit. Either you gonna put the ball in the basket or you gonna be sitting on the bench next to me, motherfucker, because we got to win.
And I get that, but at the same time, again, you think of a playoff series and you know what's gonna happen. They have to be ready. Like you can't just not play Tyler and then we play Detroit in the playoffs and expect to throw him in and he's gonna give us a great game. You know what I mean? Like
I hear what you say.
I'm not saying a lot of minutes. I'm saying a little bit.
10.
I hear what you're saying, right? But also they're expected to be professionals. Yeah, this is a part of the job. You might not play. Your number might get called. You have to be ready. That's up to you. You. That's why they say, I forgot who said it. They prepare every game, even though they know they're going to sit on the bench. They prepare every game like they about to start. You know what I mean? And
I think that was UD that said that shit.
He's a bum. I don't think.
I know he's a bum, but I'm pretty sure that he said that shit on a telecast on Peacock.
But it was somebody who was actually really good at one point. I heard say that. Yeah, I mean,
He was good in college.
there you go.
Frank just walked past. He said, "Kev just went off about Tyler. I like that shit." He said he couldn't type fast enough when you were talking.
Yeah, but yeah, it was somebody. So that's all I'm saying. Like, I get it. Again, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just giving a different perspective. You feel me? Devil's advocate here. Guys, I mean, you're expected to be a professional. Y'all don't make and they don't make peanuts. Even the last player on the bench make more than I will make in about 6-7 years. You feel me? And maybe even more than that. I may be being a little bit overselling my pay grade a little bit.
Just a little.
But all I'm saying is they expected to be professionals. I think Diawara, he has more time to develop. There's things that I like to see. I think he can. He would. I don't think he's on. He would. He would. What's
Benefit.
the word? Nah. Yeah, benefit. He would benefit greatly from going to the G League for just a little bit. I'm not saying keep him there. I'm just saying, you know how they do. Send him down for a game or two, bring him back. Send him down for a game or two, bring him back. But I think, Tyler, I think his game is kind of NBA ready. It's just more about him figuring out and being consistent. But I also understand where Mike Brown coming from. Hey, I'm gonna play the people I think gonna make us win now. Like, I can't play like, oh, you're good these days and you're not good these days. The reason why two reasons why you watch Mikal and OG go through slumps and nothing happened to their minutes, because 2, they both defensive demons. And 2, they making a lot of fucking money. Yeah.
50 million between the two of them.
Yeah,
But you know what? I want to piggyback on that idea because I'm pretty sure that Mike Brown and whoever is in his circle, they listen to us and they listen to other shows. But I'm pretty sure they listened to us when we were really, we were damn near calling for his fucking head. We were calling for his. We were ready to lynch this motherfucker. To be like, yo,
I still don't like him, by the way.
And you know what? I don't like him that much either. But right now we're winning, so you're on my good graces. But let you start losing again, and losing, and it's not even about a loss. It's about the manner of how you're losing. You're losing like the team is not even coming to play. They're mailing it in. They're not prepared. They're not adjusting. They're not playing with any kind of fight. Because again, the goal was never to go 82-0. The goal is the Larry O'Brien. However, you have to make it to the playoffs by winning games now. So if you're winning more than 40 or 50% of your games, and we were winning 60 or 70 last year, you have a high expectation that you're not fulfilling right now. So that's why I'm like, yo, it's time to to cut this dude loose, because this is kind of the reason why I expect most Knicks fans and content creators and everybody to come up with these trade proposals. Because if you think about it, I told Steve when I was hosting Spaces a little while ago this evening. In '93, where were the Knicks? The Knicks made the Eastern Conference Finals, played Michael Jordan and the Bulls, won the first 2 games, then lost 4 straight. Right? What happened the following year? Unfortunately, James Jordan died. Michael Jordan retired, and then the obstacle that we couldn't get over was gone. Everything was wide open. 1994, the Knicks finally got past the Bulls, got past the Pacers, made the NBA Finals, still didn't win the NBA Finals. So for that time frame, 1994 was the season of destiny. Didn't happen. So now we're at 2025, 26. We're claiming it again for the first time in 30 years. Season of destiny. The Eastern Conference is wide open still. Boston is not a factor, even though they're playing very good ball, despite what we forecasted. Detroit is fucking dominant. Cleveland is ass. Philly is ass. Everyone else whatever. Season of destiny still. And so I can understand why people are hitting that panic button now, but at the same time, if we're not going to make a trade, if we're not making any moves, which I still think in T-minus 4 more days, there's going to be a trade going to be made. I just don't know what it is. I can understand. So I don't know, what Knicks fans want, what the rest of the nation wants. And if you guys want to tell me, you can hit us with a super chat and let us know, so that way we can talk about it. But this year, it is make it or break it, because I'm sorry, if we don't win the NBA Finals, I don't think if I can forgive Mike Brown. Honestly, I can't.
I think I'm the only person here that's not mad at the man. And I'm going to tell you why.
I don't think so. I think you are. I'm pretty sure you are the only one here, because every one of us want to lynch this nigga, bro.
One, I think firing him mid-season would be an absolute disaster. That just doesn't make any kind of sense. Because you're literally packing up whatever you thought was going to be the goal. You're abandoning that mid-season. Two, I also think that losing streak, as bad as it was a lot of people who missed some time in that streak on our roster. JB missed time. Josh Hart missed time. Who else? I think Mitch missed a couple games. Who else missed some time? I know I'm not tweaking as other people. There's a few people that missed time. Add that with the fact that the schedule was tough. We had played more games than everybody else. Everybody else was pretty much rested because they had a week off, and we didn't. Again, some of these games you should have still absolutely won. I agree to that. But, these things happen. What I was more concerned about was what happened when we got healthy and then everybody started to find their rhythm again. Because missing time does knock a team out of rhythm. You start playing with different people. Pause. And like I said last time, I said the way we was losing wasn't about X's and O's. It wasn't about game plans and scheme. It was about effort. The things that we were losing on were effort-based. Guys getting beat down the court on made baskets, that's not a coaching thing. That's an effort thing. You make a basket, that's one of the first things you taught when you play organized basketball. Get back. Get back. Back on defense. Get on. I ain't played into a high level of basketball. Like, I played it up into a little bit of high school basketball, but every step of the way, first thing coach yell when you make a basket, get back on defense. And that was one of the key things that would happen to us in that losing streak. We were getting beat back on made baskets, not only just turnovers and missed baskets, but they were scoring on us in fast break on made baskets. To me, that is not a coaching thing. That's effort-based. How hard you play on defense. We know we have the talent. That's effort-based. Waiting until the second half to always try to turn, i.e. like we did last night as well, because that happened a lot in that stretch. Wait until the second half and try to turn it off. Then we shrink the lead, but we fall short because we run out of gas. To me, that's not. What game was it where we were losing bad and he said, I ain't changed
Dallas.
Nothing. I ain't changed nothing. Exit and O's. No. We end up winning that game.
No, we didn't.
That game. Right. We lost that game. I ain't changed nothing. Exit and O's wise. I just told them to do their job. And they went from scoring 70 points in the first half to like 30-something in the second half. That's effort-based. That's not coaching. That has just as much to do with the players as it does the coaching. And then when you hear Mikal Bridges saying that he wasn't being coachable enough, that sounds like that's a player issue and not a coaching issue. Because you feel that you want it to be this way for you. but the coach's game plan doesn't call for it to be this way for you. You have to fit what's best for the team. And Mikal saying that he wasn't saying living up to that speaks volumes. I mean, I get it. Everybody got their opinion, and I'm not even saying y'all all the way wrong, because sometimes he does some shit, and I'm like, all right, bro, I don't know why you made that sub. I don't know why we not doing that. I agree that we should probably run more offense through Cat, but I don't place all the blame on Mike Brown. I think there's blame to be shared amongst all the guys on the team, including the Cat. You know what I mean? Including the Cat, because Cat be wilding sometimes. You're like, no, bro, you really didn't have to shoot that. You really didn't have to shoot that. I get that. You know what I mean? That's a fact. Jimmy J. One just said something that's perfectly makes sense. We couldn't guard the 3-point line when Tibbs was here. And he's supposed to be a defensive guru.
That's a fact.
That's it. That's all I got to say about that. Knickerbocker Ave, you had a topic you want to talk about. Spark it up, homie.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just this past week, if you haven't seen it already, I recommend you going and look into it. Former Knick, obviously most obviously remembered as the Chicago Bull. The great Derrick Rose had his number retired. He now is the 5th member of the Chicago Bulls franchise to have his number retired. And I mean, just look at what kind of company this man now joins in terms of, just look at that. Jerry Sloan, Bob Love, Michael Jordan, and Scottie Pippen. And now you have Derrick Rose. I watched that, and I just got to say, obviously we're not Bulls fans, but we do appreciate Derrick Rose for the time, the 2 stints he had here with the Knicks. And not only that, but we all know that this man is a Hall of Famer. And when you think about Chicago, the Chicago Bulls franchise after Michael Jordan, what name is synonymous with that franchise? What name is synonymous with that team but Derrick Rose? And I'm just glad that, we got to witness him. We got to, enjoy, of course, the time he played with the Bulls and the time he played with the Knicks, the short stint he had with Minnesota. And I don't know if he played anywhere else, but I just want to extend a very deep congratulations to Derrick Rose for getting his number 1 retired up at the United Center. He's in very esteemed company, man. That's some of the times that Derrick Rose, in the short tenure he had with the Knicks. What a career.
Yeah.
Can I say something before my battery die?
Sure.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Derrick Rose. Congratulations. You deserve it. I wish he would have been healthy his whole career, man, because I really feel like if he was healthy his whole career, that man would have been a champion maybe a few times. It was unfortunate that happened to him, but he overcame all that, came back, and was still a good player, especially for the Knicks, where just recent he helped us that one season go all the way to the playoffs, win 41 games and make the playoffs and play good in the playoffs as well. So, I appreciate everything he did. And shout out to him and his family. I hope you're enjoying retirement. And that's basically it. Shout out to everybody that pulled up, hit that like button, subscribe, sharing is caring. Shout out to the panel. I'm on 10%. I'm about to do the boogie. It's freezing out here. Let's go Knicks. Fuck Portland. Let's go over there and get that dog.
Yeah, go warm up.
Good night.
Go warm
Good
up.
night.
Yeah. Uh, but yeah, like Kev was saying, shout out to D Rose. I think it's super special that he Chicago kid now has his number hung up in his hometown arena. That's fire. Yeah, I mean, that's the story that you only see in movies and shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's movie shit right there. You grow up watching the team, probably watching MJ and all that other fire shit, and then your jersey and your number is in the rafters next to his. That's beautiful. You know what I mean? But like Kev said, I'm appreciative of Derrick Rose. Yeah, I mean, because I don't think we make the playoffs that season if he didn't come. Pause. If he didn't pull up to the Knicks, right? He was the push that we needed to help Julius Randle take us to the playoffs for the first time in what it was like 11 years or some shit like that. Yeah. So we don't do that without Derrick Rose. You feel me? And that was on his second stint as a Knick. I know his first stint here, he wasn't super happy to be here because he didn't want to get traded for Chicago. I get it. Yeah, I mean, I don't even hold that against him because, like, why would you want to leave your hometown team? And how abruptly that it happened. It was a very emotional time for him. He wasn't healthy when he was here his first stint. And then I don't think he had the attitude that he wanted to be here in the first place. Yeah, I mean, but he pulled back up, helped us made the playoffs, and that's all that matter. I think we know he's always going to be remembered as a Bull, but the once a Knick, always a Knick definitely extends to Derrick Rose as well. Yeah, I mean, congratulations on that. Next, we got to get Melo's number in the rafters. That's all I got to say. Yes.
I mean, no, I agree with everything y'all said. I mean, especially, him being the hometown kid. If you've ever been to Chicago and see the living conditions they have to live in and, the environment they live in, we say New York got hood, and it does. But Chicago's a little different. Chicago is y'all know I travel a lot and I've been to a lot of cities. I go see the Knicks and I went to Chicago last year after the Indiana game because Frank has family out there. And I'm not going to hold you. I was scared to walk in these streets. I'm not even going to hold you. Probably because it's an older Anna and I know what it is, right? Like maybe a younger Anna may not have cared. But just like it's hard to read people, and I'm big on reading people, but just it's cold out there. It was the winter. They had on their shiesty masks. And so, that was scary, not being able to see people's faces and kind of get to read them. But just like going into their stores and, every store, Foot Locker, any little store had armed security. They literally like buzz you into the store, buzz you out of the store. Like it was an experience that I just was like, wow. But to see a kid that could have went down the wrong path, coming from that type of environment to, now have such an impact on, the game of basketball and other, young kids and, people in the league that are now, younger guys in the league that looked up to Derrick Rose or guys that are now coming in, still in high school, whatever, looking up to him. That's huge. He's he's going to always be remembered as a Bull, but the respect he gets from New York fans is kind of like what we hear with Deuce now, right? Like every city you go to, you hear Deuce, and no matter how many times, all the times Derrick Rose comes back, whether it's to visit or whatever, it's always love from Knicks fans. So, I hope he's enjoying it. I'll be looking out for his little man because his little man nice too. But nah, And the ceremony itself was super emotional. Like hearing like his old teammates, Taj and all of them, Joakim, talk, Luol Deng, talk so highly of him. And you know, it showed like how close knit that group was. It was good to see. You know, Derek he's dope.
Question to follow up is, in your opinion, is he a Hall of Famer?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the follow-up question on that one is that you just saw the numbers that are retired in Chicago. I was asked to get your opinion on this. So, Steve, this is for you. Do you think that Dennis Rodman's number should be up there as well?
No.
All right. So
he didn't play in Chicago long enough.
Okay.
Yeah.
My response to that one was simply, and I'll land the plane on that, is that I don't think he gives two fucks about it.
Fact too. That's a fact too. I just think Dennis Rodman was there for 4 years?
3. Just a 3.
Yeah, he got there when Jordan got back for sure. He was there for the last 3 peaks. Yeah, that's not enough. You know what I mean? I understand he got the rings, but there's not enough tenure there. You feel me? Like you look at Jordan and Pippen, they played a large majority, I would say 90% of their career was in Chicago. You know what I mean? And you add the rings. Derrick Rose was there, 6 years? 7? 8 years? 8
to 10, I think.
Either way, it's more than 3. By a large part, right? So
it's on the banner. So from 2008 to 2016.
8 years. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense. You know what I mean? And he's a MVP, like I said, MVP hometown kid. You know, his story, I think, touches his story.
It kind of is like what Melo is to New York.
Yeah, his story touches the heart just as much as his accomplishments, right? Like his story stands out just as much as his accomplishments. I think when Derrick Rose got injured, especially being the youngest MVP ever, and then you seeing like what the trajectory of his career would have been, and him having a devastating injury like that kind of derailed how high his star could have flown. But for him to come back, reinvent himself, and still carve out a very meaningful and long career, that's part of the reason why people love Rose. Yeah, I mean, it's not so much of his, just as much as his dominance in Chicago in the beginning stage of his career. It's the act 2 that they love just as much. Yeah, I mean, and that's part of the reason why his numbers in the rafters, just as much as his on-court accomplishments. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, shout out to Derrick Rose, but yeah, Dennis Rodman shouldn't be up there. But like you said, sis, you know, yeah, Melo, we still.
Can I talk about something real quick? Because I see the chat and I see a lot on X and whatever about Cat. So I think
I don't see X comments.
Huh?
So I don't see none of them X comments. But yeah.
No. I mean, not in our chat, but I've seen it on X throughout the days or weeks or whatever. You know, everyone's focus on Cat is always the negative, right? It's always the negative. And I think part of the guys meeting and what Josh has talked about and what we heard Mikal talk about, them having to, you know, look at themselves and figure it out. You know, yes, we pay Cat big bucks and we expect big scoring. But at the end of the day, if he doesn't and he still impacts winning like he did today, there shouldn't be any negative talk. Like, people shouldn't be mad. Don't be mad. He impacted the game. Now, if he didn't do shit, he didn't rebound the ball, he didn't have 22 rebounds, he didn't have, you know, his 2 assists, and still only scored 8, then yes, you talk negative. But like, as fans, we have to chill out. Like, we have to chill out. These guys, one, are human. You heard Kat say it after yesterday's game. Like, I don't care. We just want to win. I want to win. We're going to do whatever it takes to win. And if what it takes to win is for him to score 8 points but grab 22 rebounds because we're missing our best rebounder and we win the game in the fashion that we did, like, what are we still mad about? Why is it always so negative? Like, y'all gotta chill out. Y'all did this shit with so many players. Like, let them play the game. We're winning. Like, chill out.
There's just Knicks fans out there because they did it with Patrick, they did it with Melo, they did it with Marbury, they did it with David Lee, they did it with Nate Robinson, they did it with they did it with Chris Duhon, they did it with fucking with Amari Stoudemire. They're just mad that they're not the face of the league. They're not, you know, what LeBron was at one point, what Steph Curry was at one point, or is today. You know, these guys aren't Luka Doncic or Joker. That's what they're mad about. So they figured, why not criticize them? And it kind of upsets me. We will criticize him when he plays like shit because we've done that repeatedly. But when he puts forth the effort and he impacts winning, because at the end of the day, I really don't give a flying fuck how many points he scores or how many rebounds he scores. Did we win?
So
did we win?
Here's my feeling, right? I mean, yeah, we kind of been doing this since forever, right? But I feel it's more prevalent now because it's content. It's what we do. You feel me? Not what we do, but that's what they do. You feel me? We live in a space where everybody feel like they have a 2 cent, and the way they get likes in comments and interaction is by being negative. I've seen it. People post positive stuff. It never get likes. It never get comments. It never get any traction. But let them say Karl Anthony Towns is sassy. He sucks at basketball. He shouldn't be a Knick. I want him off my team. There's a trillion likes and a million comments. And I seen it. And it's not just when it happens to Cat. When Jules was here, what happened? You know what I mean? When I wasn't part of Knicks Twitter when Melo was here, so I can't say if that happened.
It did.
Twitter was even a thing at that time. I don't.
It did. It was bad.
Yeah. So yeah, but again, that's my point, right? Like, it don't matter who it is. It's going, as long as it's going to get the likes and the comments, and there's a slither of slither. It don't even have to be valid evidence. If it's just a little bit of evidence to validate whatever they're talking about, they're going to run with it, and they're going to post it, and they're going to talk crazy. They're going to get on spaces. They're going to yell. They're going to call people all kinds of names. But when realistically, right, last year in the playoffs, Cat helped us win a shit ton of games. A shit ton of playoff games. We don't get as far in the playoffs last season if it wasn't for Karl Anthony Towns. Facts. Yeah, I mean facts. I think if it wasn't for Karl Anthony Towns, we don't get past Detroit. Facts. First round exit. Facts. Right? So, yeah, he's having a little rough patch offensively this season. But I do think he has the talent. By the time the postseason comes, he's going to be right. He's going to be right as rain. And he's going to produce. It may not be the 30, 40 points that you may be looking for, but it's going to be substantial to us winning games, whatever he does, whether it be his passing, his rebounding. Something is going to stand out that makes him a crucial part of us winning. Because if we play defense if we have a team effort, right? That's what I'm saying, man. What are we complaining about? Number one rebounder in the NBA. If we play defense like we did tonight, and we have Karl Anthony Towns locked in on the boards like he was tonight, and then a healthy Mitchell Robinson locked in on the offensive boards, that alone is going to make us super difficult to beat in the playoffs.
And
Josh, facts. My bad. My bad. And that's another thing too. My fault, real quick. Josh had a super sneaky 22 tonight. I didn't even realize it. Yeah. I looked at the box score, like, oh shit, when did that happen? But yeah, nigga, back of my fault.
Well, no, to piggy off the negative shit, I recall there was a player, he was a superstar in this league, did everything on the court, had some shit off the court, but then when that shit died down, he still played the game at a legendary status, and people kept on talking shit about this man over and over and over again on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere, even to the moment he retired. And the only time they started to talk positively about him was, unfortunately, when he died. I'm talking about Kobe Bryant. So what? We're going to wait till Cat dies so we start talking positively about him? Bullshit. Praise the man now for what he's doing, because I still think, I know Sis thinks it. See, I'm pretty sure that you will agree with this, and everybody on this panel and in a lot of circles. Karl Anthony Towns, despite what the talking heads on the fucking networks be saying, is an integral and key piece to the Knicks ascending and winning the Larry O'Brien this year.
And that's a fact. And then you also got to realize, too, he's playing in the system and for a coach who don't really like too much dominant scorers. Like, he wants everybody to contribute. That's his coaching philosophy. You know what I mean? And I think this is where we having a hard time adjusting to as a team, is that the two guys who score the most are kind of like struggling with, like, when do I get my shots? When do I take over? When do I pass and defer to the other people? I think Cat is struggling with that more than JB, because I also think JB be like, fuck that, I'm scoring.
And what you gonna do, right?
Like, y'all know what coach said, but I'm getting this bucket. Fuck you talking about? And I think Cat kind of struggles with that. And I think Cat likes to pass the ball more than people like to give him credit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, so it is a balancing act. It's for everybody, the whole team. Because, again, I keep on referring to Mikal's comment today, but I also feel like he may not have been the only one who felt that way, right? Who were being uncoachable and not taking accountability and looking towards themselves as what they could be doing better, right? So, you know what I mean? There's a lot going on. And you talking about Cat having to learn how to play in two different positions at the same time. Right? Like, before Tibbs got to Tibbs was his first coach, right? When Tibbs was there, Tibbs wasn't his first coach.
No, Flip Saunders was.
Flip Saunders. I think Cat was playing the 4 when he had him playing the 4, right?
And then Tibbs wanted to play the 5.
Yeah.
He didn't like it, so they mortgaged the farm to get Rudy Gobert over.
So the point I'm trying to make, Flip Saunders had him playing purely the 4. Tibbs had him playing purely the 5. Now he's trying to work a high. When he came to the Knicks, he was playing purely the 5 most of the time. And then the playoffs, he played the 4. Because when we got Mitch back healthy and we needed more help in the offensive lineup, but whatever. Yeah, I mean, now you're talking about, all right, you have to adjust your game mid-game to fit both positions. Because there's going to be times you're going to be on the court with Mitch. There's going to be times you're going to be at the 5. So mid-game, you kind of got to adjust what you do offensively and defensively in the system mid-game. Oh, Mitch is on the floor. Now my whole role is different. You feel me? That people think it's easy. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially when you're this far in your career and you're used to playing a certain way. You're used to being, you're used to being the guy on the team. I'm the guy. Give me the rock. Now you got somebody who's better than you. And it's not even like, I won't say it's not close, but you got somebody who's clearly better than you. And you have to defer to him and learn. It's a lot to deal with. And who, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. Leave Cat alone. Because when it comes playoff time, I guarantee it. It's a guarantee. When it comes playoff time and he's busting whatever team ass, you gonna be like, oh my God, I love Cat, Big Bodega.
And you know what we're gonna say?
Doesn't matter what you think.
But you also have, like, when I think of it, like, not only does it play in the mental of like these guys, right? Because they're human, right? They see what Knicks fans say. But think about the future of the organization, right? Like, how many years have guys shunned away from New York because of everything? You know what I mean? And to say, okay, I'm going to choose to go to New York over LA or over Miami or over this, when I just saw them post one of their superstar players dancing in some gay shit with nail polish on and nails, and you know what I mean? Like, the Knicks fans are just taking it too far with Cat.
Yeah. I'm not with that neither, right? I'm not with that neither. I mean, you know, I make jokes. I toss the frame stand at quite a few people, but that's only when I'm provoked.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think yeah, definitely take it way too far with Cat with this sassy shit. And again, you supposed to be the fan base that support him. Like he runs around with New York on the front of his jersey. You know what I mean? And he's not a trash basketball player. You know what I mean? You may have issues with how his game look, because I do think he has a very clumsy game. One thing he need to stop doing when he go to the – this is why you're not finishing at the rim, Cat. Once you feel contact, you're trying to exaggerate the contact. And
Instead, go for the shot.
You're throwing your body back, and then you're trying to lay the ball up. That's never going to work. You're bigger than most people. Pause, right? They're going to foul you. You're just chalk it up your mind. You're not getting the call.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to finish. If they call it, they call it. You have to have the Shaq mentality. Not saying you Shaq. Shaq knew he wasn't going to get the call. So what he did, he focused on getting the fucking bucket, bro. Get the fucking bucket. If they call it, that's just a bonus. That's a bonus, bro. But know that, yo, guess what? I'm about to drop 30 on y'all, and there's nothing you could do about it. You could hack me. You can push me. I'm getting 30. You know what I mean? And that's the mentality that you need to have, Cat. You have the talent. I've watched you drop 60 twice. I've seen those games. You, come on, Cat. Come on. Stop crying. Get buckets.
I think I mentioned that in the chat this before the game started. Cat needs to start playing like the Lion.
Yeah, you did.
He needs to start playing like the Lion and stop playing like the pussy, and that's it. And that's not a criticism. That's a thing. I don't want to see flops anymore. I want to see you getting 30.
Yeah. No more flailing, bro. It's unbecoming. You're way too talented for that. It's unbecoming. Just have it in your mind. I'm not getting the call. All right, I already know it. They're not going to call foul. So what?
Still getting this too.
But I'm still scoring. And I'm going to tell you about it. I'm not even going to look at the ref and say, and one. I'm going to look at you and one and run up the court. You know what I mean?
He's a Jersey kid, so he should know this stuff. That's kind of the crazy part. He's from Jersey, so he knows these things.
But at the same time, he was coming. He came up in the soft part of the NBA where those ticky-tack fouls were a thing. Like he's used to that. You know what I mean? Like most of his career, the NBA was that foul, getting 2 shots. Yeah, I mean, but he has to transform his mind into, yo, I'm telling you, call Shaq. I'm telling you, call Shaq. I don't have the words because I'm not an NBA big man. I'm 5'5". Even when I was playing basketball at the earliest ages, I was never a big man. So it was good. I could never tell you for sure how to be a big man. I'll just tell you what makes sense. But Shaq always say that about Cat. Like, yo, you're one of the biggest guys on the court. I need you to play like that. And I need Cat to get that through his mind. Like, yo, I'm not going to get the call. I'm not looking for the whistle. I'm looking for the points. I'm looking for the points. And if what I'm doing this way ain't working to get me the points, I'm going to do something else to get me the points. Right? Like, but going to the basket and that's not helping nothing. You're not getting the call. Now you're on the floor. And now they have the advantage on the other way up the court. Like, I think it's just that simple. I might be oversimplifying it, but to my eyes, watching the Knicks every single game, and I watch games multiple times, is a lot of flailing. There's a lot of flailing, Cat. That's all I'm saying. And I want you on my team. I don't want you traded. I want you on my team. But you gotta. I hate to say it because I just talked about people call him sassy and shit. But I need your man to fuck up, Cat. Man, fuck up, bro. You know what I mean?
I think you hit it. You hit the nail right on the head because that's exactly what I see too. Like he's wanting to force the refs to make the calls that they're not making. They're consistently not making it. Instead of, okay, let me try and get a basket. Like, let me bully my way into that paint. And the more you do that, they're going to have to blow the whistle. You know what I mean? To me, it seems like when it comes to the Knicks, the refs won't blow the whistle unless a shot is put up or made. Like, even you see so many times with the Knicks that it's a delayed whistle on a made basket because they're just not giving it to us. And so we can't just keep, trying to force the issue. The way to force the issue is to get the basket.
Yeah. Like Brunson still be complaining, but you notice a lot more. He's like,
he's giving them like the death stare now.
But he's trying to get the two.
Yes, for sure.
He's trying to get the two. He's not looking like before. I can honestly say that he was trying to look for the two. I mean, look for the foul. But now you could tell that he's absolutely focused on trying to score, and the foul is the benefit. But like if shit is blatant and egregious, you'll hear him yell. But I even want him to stop doing that. I want both of them to just go, it is what it is. I'm going to get the bucket. And I'm going to force you to blow the whistle because I'm going to get the bucket anyway. Getting the bucket anyway. And I'm going to let the other team know that I got the bucket. See, I don't know. That just might be me, right? Growing up in Brooklyn, playing street ball my whole life. And you hacking. And you still can't stop me. That to me, that's a badge of honor. I'm talking bad shit. And you hacking. You can't stop me and you hacking, bro. Like, that's the mentality we need to have. Yeah, you're playing, you got too used to playing this organized basketball shit and wanting the referees to bless you with the whistle. They're not going to do it. Hey, yo, that was crazy. All right, yeah, it's time to wrap up. All right, thanks everybody. Everybody for showing up. That was crazy. I said, bless you with the whistle is crazy. It's time to go, y'all.
Where's Uncle Paulie when you need him?
It's time to go. Shout out to everybody that pulled up tonight. You already know the vibes. Hit that like button if you didn't do so already. Sharing is always caring. Make sure you subscribe if this is your first time here. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss any more live. If you're watching from anywhere else, except for YouTube. Make sure you go to the YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification bell, set it to all so you don't miss any Knicks and Ish lives. Make sure you go cop some merch. You know what I mean? The whatchamacallit? The website scrolling across the bottom. If you don't feel like going to the website, go straight to the YouTube and you can access the Knicks and Ish store there. And I think that's it. You know what I mean? So somebody gotta do it. Fred's not here no more.
Outro.
Boom shakalaka! The Knicks are great. These kids and our party just lit. You know we lit fresh, that's the pearly Lord. You know we lit Knickerbocker, ever talk to.